Yo, it's been a long time since I made a video, so I thought I might make one. Yes, I'm somewhat drunk. Yes, I'm somewhat stoned. That's what happens when you hang out with girls of dubious character. But I've got to talk about the Tyson Fury Usyk fight. So it was epic, man. I loved it. I went up to Edinburgh. I watched it in a pub with a bunch of Germans, and they were cool. They're like, on the date I asked him to marry me, we watched Tyson Fury fight, and now I'm a Tyson Fury fan for life. So they were like massive Tyson Fury fans, and there was some like Uzbekistanians or somewhere from the Warsaw Pact countries, whatever, that were supporting Usyk, and they had the big Usyk flags. And there's a bunch of Scottish people. And the funny thing was, I put on a bet, which I've never done in my life, but I put fiver on Usyk to stop Fury in the last four, 10-1. I only put a fiver on because I assumed I'd lose. But I put a fiver on, so I was standing to make 50 quid and get my stake back. And anyhow, and so I was there thinking, look, I'm British, I'm English, I want Fury to win, even though to get, I still want him to win because I'd like the belts to come back to this country and they can fight Joshua and Roddy Rah. But on the flip side, I was thinking Usyk is far more deserving. He's a more healthy champion. He's just, Usyk is the consummate professional. And I like him. He's charismatic. I have a bit of a man crush on him. Not that I love people with like rabbit teeth and that. I don't really, but there's something about him. He's just nice. I like him. I like the dude. If I saw him in the street, I'd, give him a slap on the back, give him a hug, and say, hey, good on you. And believe me, when Usyk got the nod at the end, which I knew he would do, obviously, I celebrated with the people with the Ukrainian flags and all that crap. I was there jumping around with them, not because I'm British, I wanted Fury to win, but I knew that Usyk deserved it. But anyway, let's talk about the fight. So, so I was up in Edinburgh. I'm from Bristol, so this was like, a big deal, just a little bit of holiday, a few days away, do a bit of my own thing, have a bit of fun. And I'll be honest, I never watched a fight live, actually, in a pub. I've never actually been to one in the flesh, but this is the first time I even watched one in a pub, and it was epic. And yeah, watching with the Germans was pretty hilarious. But because they didn't know a thing about boxing, and neither the Scots. It was really funny. There's this Scottish dude who's like, Fury's gonna knock him out in 2 rounds. He'd like put like 50 quid on it. That Fury's going to stop the dude in like the first couple of rounds. I literally turned to the guy. I'm like, "Do you know boxing?" And he looks a bit taken aback. I'm like, "Sorry, mate, I shouldn't have put it like that, but Usyk has a chin, and Usyk's damn good. He ain't going to be stopped in like 2 rounds, mate. If he is stopped, it's going to be late. I don't think he'll be stopped, but yeah." And he was cool. He was a really good guy, actually. I had a lot of fun with the Scottish geezers, but anyway, and so it began, and it began as I thought it would, really. That Usyk, he'd been saying a week, don't worry, I'm going to be on top of you, kind of thing. I am not going to let you alone. And we saw that he was all over him, and he was landing the jabs, and Fury is clowning. He was landing the jabs, and Fury is clowning. He lands the backhand, and Fury clowns him. And I'm thinking Fury's getting beat up here, but after 3 rounds, obviously Fury's down. He knows it. Everyone knows it. And at this point, I'm thinking, great. I'm going to make my money here. I'm going to get 50 quid off this one. My bet, because I knew Usyk would beat the dude, and he's going to stop him late. And then Fury comes into it, and Fury starts landing a few good shots, and he lands a few devilish uppercuts. To be fair, he does. And I'm there saying, look, get on the dude. And everyone in the pub's like, get on him, get on him. Everyone is like surging towards the big screen. And they're all like cheering, like, go for it. Knock him the fuck out. And I was there. And I even put a message up on Element saying, it'll be a miracle if Usyk wins now. Because Fury looked so dangerous. When he landed that uppercut, the first time For 3 rounds, he's being hounded by Usyk. And then in the 4th, suddenly, Fury turns the tide a bit, actually hurts Usyk. And I don't think it's the 4th, maybe it's the 5th, maybe the 6th, I can't remember. But he lands an uppercut, and Usyk backs off. And Usyk's hurt. And we're all like, get on him, get on him. This is your chance, man. Get on him. Fury doesn't get on him. And, and I, as I put that message out, it's a miracle if Usyk can beat this. Because it looked like Fury was literally taking over for those, 4, 5, 6. And then after that, Usyk gets his composure back, gets his, gets his confidence back. I don't think he ever lost his confidence, but maybe he was a little bit woozy after the uppercuts. But he gets back on it, doesn't he? And then come the 9th round, he bashes Fury from pillar to post. And that was the point where I made the decision. That was my first bet and my last bet. Because, clearly Usyk would have stopped Fury there. In my prediction, 10-1 odds. But the ref saved Fury for diplomatic reasons, for money reasons, for whatever the hell the reasons. But no referee in their right mind. They'd either have waved off the fight, which I wouldn't have wanted, or they let Usyk finish the job, land that left hand when Fury is, out on his feet, and he's down. He doesn't get back up. So I was screwed over there, betting-wise. But anyway, no sour grapes here. It was only, only staked a £5 on it. But, if I'd have, staked a lot of money on it, I'd be a bit more miffed, because it was clearly corruption there that saved Fury. And anyhow, for the remainder of the rounds, Fury gradually regained his composure, managed to showboat a bit and all the rest of it, but he was still outlanded. So overall, well-deserved victory for Usyk, which is what I knew, but I knew Usyk could stop him. And it flipping annoys me that the referee saved Fury in the way that he did. But anyway, that's by the by. What's going to happen? What's going on with Fury? So, Fury, did he believe his own hype? I don't think so. Fury's not a dumb man. He's actually fairly smart, I think. And so he knows he's not the best boxer in the world. He knows that he's made the most of his physical attributes. He's more athletic than the average 6'7" dude is. I know he says he's 6'9", but we all know that's a lie. 6'7". He's more athletic than the average 6'7" dude, and he's made the most of it. And yeah, he's pretty skillful. He's not bad, but he knows he's not the best boxer in the world. And he's just about pulls himself together and resurrected his career. But we see now he's going out drinking and getting himself drunk and collapsing in the street and getting chucked out of pubs and whatnot. So I didn't know. I think that he's going to take the rematch for the money. Can he win the rematch? Not currently, obviously not. He needs to have a massive rethink. His corner was a shambles, we all know that, in terms of having 3 different people saying different messages. That's absolute crap. You can't do that. Get someone in that actually can take the charge. And Peter Fury, the way in which he's if anyone says something in the corner when I've told them not to, they're sacked the moment we go back into the dressing room. Or there was a coach the other day, I can't remember the card I was watching, but he literally turned, the dude holding the spit bucket tried to talk, and the coach said shut up, I'm talking. And that's what you need, It will need a big transformation if Fury's going to have any chance. But how can he do it? What he needs to do, at least in my view, from an uneducated point of view, because obviously I don't been in the ring with Usyk, he needs to jab him a bit and get in close. Get in close to this dude and grab him and lean on him and work him over and use your strength to your advantage. Fury does not have the stamina to win. He can't outlast Usyk. He can't outthrow Usyk. He was outthrowing him in terms of punches, although many of them were like little pitty-patty, just little flicks of the wrist, really, with his left jab. So I think in some of the early rounds he was throwing a lot more than Usyk, but they weren't real punches. They were just little flicks. But in terms of like real stamina, no, he can't move around like Usyk can. Can't outlast him. He needs to outstrength him. He needs to outweigh him. He needs to use the fact he's 30 pounds heavier than him. So what's he do? He needs to jab him, just guard against the backhand. Come in with your guard up. So if Usyk throws that left, it's blocked. You don't get, the whole weight of it. And you grab the dude and you lean all your weight on him. And you work him over to his body and you hit him. And look, I'm not a boxer, obviously, so it's easier said than done. But there must surely be a way of exerting your weight over someone and your infighting skills. I appreciate Usyk has shorter arms, so he's going to have quicker hands in close. I appreciate that. But surely there's a way of grabbing the dude and working him over to the body and leaning on him and really out-muscling him like he did with Steve Cunningham. It wasn't pretty, but he KO'd him. And I know that Usyk is not Steve Cunningham, but surely the same principle could apply, that somehow you're getting close and you actually take it to him. Because honestly, unless in that rematch they take it to him, Fury needs to literally stick it on the bruv. He needs to stick it on Usyk. Otherwise, it's going to be embarrassing. I expect he'll get KO'd. He should have been KO'd in round 9 in the last one. The ref saved him. I think anyone would admit that. And, that's going to happen again sooner. He'll be actually KO'd unless he can have a transformation. But it's not. It doesn't look good if rather than knuckling down and saying, hey, I'm Tyson Fury, I'm the best fighter in the world, and I'm going to make sure that I defeat this little middleweight rabbit in the rematch. Unless he knuckles down and says that, he ain't going to win. And unfortunately, at the moment, he's more drowning his sorrows in a pub in Morecambe and getting chucked out for being too drunk. So that's my take on it anyhow. Give me yours.